That's so natural, so I don't know how to do it again. I'm super excited to chat with you, man.
Yeah.
We're both content guys, also both in the newsletter space. But to kick things off, I just want to start with a quick game of this or that.
Okay.
So I'm going to throw some things at you. You just pick your favorite, okay? Text posts or image posts?
Text posts.
Okay. Talking head videos or selfie videos?
Selfie videos.
Okay. Is more organic?
Yeah, like I want to. The other ones for like hostage videos. I'm here to declare X, Y, and Z. It's like, give me the selfie, walk around, like fall out of frame, like it's authentic. That's what I want.
Authentic. LinkedIn lives or pre-recorded videos?
I mean, I like lives. I like to feel like there's some energy there.
Yeah, you're like very authentic kind of content guy. I see it already. Polls or a hot take?
Hot take.
Why a hot take?
I mean, polls, first of all, polls take forever. I'm like, I forget stuff quickly.
I want to see the results.
Yeah, I want to see the results. So you run the poll for a week. By that time, it's like, wait, I forgot. Why did I even post this thing?
Yeah.
Like, give me a hot take. Tell me how to think. I think like when I am spending time on content or when I'm making content, it's either I want to express something that I feel strongly about, or I want to read something that someone else who's much smarter than me in a particular area feels strongly about. So that, the poll was like, what does the world think? Fine. I want to know, what do you think?
That's very true. I like those unpopular opinions.
Yes.
Like, I don't want my feed to be all agreeable things that I already know. I want to see what other people think.
100%.
Makes total sense.
And then I want to use those hot takes when I go to like at dinner. I'm like, I think X, Y, and Z. I'm just like ripping off someone else.
Sound smarter, yes. Reposts or original content?
Original content.
Okay. It's interesting. When I'm looking at your content, I see so many reposts, but maybe that's the editor-in-chief in you. That is curating
That's
content.
me, the curator. 100%. I'm like, I love this. I love this. I wish everyone else saw this. A lot of times when I'm on my feed, I'm just like, I wish someone else saw this. I wish someone else saw this.
I love it though. You're helping, I guess, people will get visibility. So. Articles or newsletters?
Newsletters.
Okay. Hooks?
Goes back to the community.
Always.
I want to build as, like fans, of people who like get to know each other.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I want to get into that in a second. Hooks or a good headline?
I would have said 3 years ago, would have said a good headline. Now I'm a hook guy.
Yeah. Content's changing.
Yeah, it really is.
Okay, last one. And I think I already know your answer. Comment section or DMs?
Comments.
Yeah. It's going to be comments. Okay.
You know what I like? Can I just tell you why I like comments?
Yeah, let's talk into it.
LinkedIn is a hard place for a lot of people to post because it's your real identity.
Okay.
And what you're seeing might be seen by like your boss or your future boss or your colleagues. But when people come into the comments, that's why I like creators are amazing, because creators are like, I have something to say and I'm not afraid to say it to the world. Everyone can comment. Like responding to someone else is a much lower bar, and people are more authentic when they do because they have something they're kind of like reacting to. Exactly. So that's why I love the comments.
I agree with that 100%. So I want to talk about newsletters.
Yeah.
So you've been writing this and working for, I want to say, over 10 years.
Yeah.
So I started Content to Commas. I'm only 15 months in. Dude.
Okay.
But I love the newsletter space. I actually think newsletters right now are having a moment. Like they're cool again. People are talking about owning your audience. So one question I have for you is, what are the 3 things you've learned the hard way that someone in my seat could steal?
3 things. Number 1 is that you are not writing this for yourself, you're writing it for your community. And so there are times where I've done newsletters where I was really excited about it and they've just died. And you realize, you're like, oh, this is only I cared about this. No one else actually cared about this. So that's one, is really, that's why I spend a lot of time in the comments. I want to see what are people I look at the metrics. What are people responding to? Like the analytics I love, especially our new one that shows out of network and in network. Like especially with a newsletter, you want to constantly be growing your audience. So I want to know what's reaching people out of network. So I spend I do a lot of time spend a lot of time on that. 2 is put things up in chunks. Like I'm a former magazine writer. I used to spend first half of my career was doing like massive magazine stories.
Like
I would spend months.
Or?
Oh yeah, I would go I would have like 10-page stories follow people around the world, and so I would write long. And what I discovered was that was not something people wanted that much of. They wanted guideposts. They want to know, like, here are the 5 takeaways, or like, here are my 3 favorite things from this interview. So give people those guideposts, because they're going to come in the middle of they open the article, they open the news, the headline, the hook, the lead, gets them in, then they scan. And they go up and down, and you want to have like a couple hooks that say, I'm going to just focus on this section. Don't expect them to read it. To read like all the way through. And the other thing I always tell people when they start newsletters is, treat every edition as if it is the first one that someone has seen.
Yeah.
So I see people make this mistake all the time where they'll say, in my previous newsletter, or they'll headline it, episode 25.
Yeah.
And it's like, no one cares what episode this is. Assume everyone is coming to it for the first time. So you have to explain the purpose of the newsletter.
Yeah.
If you're going to reference something else, provide all the context. Otherwise, you're kind of being rude to people. So that's the way. Those are my three.
It's so funny you say that because I think I've done those things accidentally.
Yeah.
So in my newsletter, I reintroduce it because I'm just thinking, oh, I have new subscribers this week.
Exactly.
But to your point, sometimes you don't always think about, oh, I may reference a newsletter or link it, and my community may not have that full guidance.
Yeah.
Something else you said that kind of interests me was you write for like what interests you and not your community.
Yeah.
So I do take ideas from the comments. And I think it's taken me a while to also learn, like, yeah, I'm not writing this solely for me or what interests me.
Yeah.
Yes, they want to hear my thoughts, but this is really for my community. I think what's taking you the longest lesson to learn when it comes to newsletters?
I think that I came into This Is Working assuming that there was a certain topic that I needed to cover. It was kind of I started with this idea of the world's leaders. So I spent a lot of time talking to CEOs, big companies, and it was like, what do the world leaders think about where the economy is going? I came from Fortune. That was my life before LinkedIn was Fortune, Wired, Forbes. So I kind of had this sort of big magazine, heavy topic hat on, and I was like, I'm going to be a serious journalist in these interviews. And then when I read the comments, the stuff that really resonated were the leadership tips. And it was, and what they wanted to hear from a Jamie Dimon or even people, and I also thought you had to have a big name. I discovered the big names didn't matter either. What mattered was the authenticity and the passion that people had. So one of my best performing newsletters was an interview with the CEO of a company called Merck based in Germany. She talked about the fact that she hires now more for the ability for like thinking about people's potential versus what they've done. And that potential versus experience line blew up. They were like, here's a leader we've never heard of. For most people, they've never heard of her. They may never have heard of this. Merck, there's two different Mercks. She runs one of them. She just had this really impassioned point, and she was great at delivering it, and it blew up. And I was like, oh, this is what the world wants to hear. They want tips. They want to understand these people have been there and done that, and that's what they care about rather than big name who is weighing in on, who is speaking about the kind of stuff they talk about at Davos.
Right. Okay, that makes so much sense. You also mentioned, sometimes we set this bar so high.
Yeah.
And I think when I talk with other people who want to start a newsletter, they over obsess about the cadence should be weekly, bi-weekly, monthly. My voice in the newsletter, what channel should I pick? Between cadence, voice, and distribution.
Yeah.
Which do you think is the most important that people get wrong?
Yeah, I think it's not a question to me of which one they get wrong. It's what is the order of importance there.
Oh, I like that.
Voice matters over everything else, especially in a ChatGPT world.
Yeah.
If you don't have voice, you might as well not be doing it because anyone can write anything and sound smart because you just go into any of the answer engines, make this smart. Exactly.
Yeah.
But when I think about the newsletters that I follow, it is someone with a strong voice and a unique perspective. There's someone who runs this newsletter on LinkedIn all about comms, and she has been great at talking about the comms messes that certain companies are in. She has a strong point of view. It's really timely, and when I read it, I know who it is that's writing this. And that leads to distribution, because your distribution comes from someone else saying, think about why readers are subscribing to you. They want to get something, and they have a million things they could read.
Yes, inbox is flooded.
Flooded.
Yeah.
So they're like, why would I open this newsletter? And they do it because I'm going to learn something new, and I'm going to sound smart if I repeat this, and I want this to sound, I can go to the Journal, I can go to the Times, I can go anywhere else and just get the information. I need to know how to think about the information. So that's your job as a newsletter writer, how to think about it.
It makes so much sense when you break it down. It really does. Okay, so shifting gears a little bit, I want to talk about creator monetization on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
I'm a creator on LinkedIn. When I tell it to people, they sometimes takes them a little second to understand what I'm saying. But LinkedIn has truly changed my life as a creator.
I love hearing that.
What are brands asking for from creators on LinkedIn?
You've seen this move in how brands think about creators. So 5 years ago, actually less than that, 3 years ago, it was really all about follower count.
Yeah, or influencers.
Influencers, exactly. Yeah. Now it is brand safety, and it is how much these creators relate to the audience they're trying to reach. So are you actually a credible voice in this area that my company cares about?
Yeah.
And if you can be trustworthy and knowledgeable about these areas and are consistently building an audience, those three things are what brands really care about.
Yeah.
What they don't want to do is put their spend their brand dollars on someone that is just going to go out and do dumb pranks and make their brand look bad. I think 3 years ago, they would have been fine with it. They were just like, get me as big as possible.
Yeah, make this video go viral.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And what we hear much less of that, make this video go viral request than we did at the very beginning of creator monetization on LinkedIn.
That makes so much
And
sense.
LinkedIn's different. You know, LinkedIn is like, these are a lot of B2B brands on here.
I love it.
Yeah.
It is a different space, and it's hard to even describe like the caliber of brands coming to LinkedIn for that resonance. But because it's a real face, it's real authority.
Yeah.
It's not anyone trying to be a persona. It is that person.
Yeah.
I think there is that level of maybe increased trust, I'd say.
I agree. And what makes me, I mean, you're ahead of the game here, but where I think if I were starting off and wanted to be in the content business, I would be investing in a niche on LinkedIn. I would find a niche that I'm passionate about, whatever
I love
it
you
is.
said that. A niche.
Any niche, yeah. Find something, you have to be passionate about it, and then you have to do exactly what you're doing, which is putting in the work. But you do that, there is a sponsor out there who's ready for you, there's an audience out there who's ready for you, and I think it's the world's your oyster. Like, you could find anything. You have to care kind of about business, but business is tennis, you could do medical supplies, you could do, I don't know, retail. Like, look around the world and be like, I care about that, I'm gonna own that area.
There's definitely this misconception of LinkedIn sometimes is only the business, but I like what you said, because whether you're in the food business, retail business, wherever it is, there's every single niche on LinkedIn.
That's right.
If you were advising a brand today and they said, Dan, we want to spend first dollar on creators on LinkedIn, but we don't know where to start, what would you tell them?
Number one, I would say go to the creator marketplace, use that tool. Find someone who is talking about the area that you care about, subscribe. I mean, we're all people, there are brands, but there are people behind the brands. You're running a brand, subscribe to that person, follow that person, see what they have to say, reach out to them. But if you like it, if you care about it and you think it's interesting for your company, your brand, my guess is that is someone that you're gonna wanna do business with. So this is, and the other thing I would say don't do is don't obsess over reach. You know, the impression numbers matter much less than reaching the right people. And I think that's a big difference with LinkedIn also. Like, if you want to sell, I don't know, if you're in the security software business and you want to reach chief information security officers, you know, there aren't a million of them out there. There might only be thousands of them out there. If you're looking for hundreds of thousands of views on a video, but you want to reach CISOs, you're doing it wrong. I say go after someone who's actually reaching the right audience. We give those creators the analytics to be able to see that they're reaching the right people and then use that to your advantage.
Let's go into a bit more on that. What is the signal brand should look for on a creator's profile and their content? And you can't say follower count.
Yeah, I don't think it is follower counts. I wouldn't have said that. I think that it's community. So you want to look at, I would look at comments. And I would look to say when they're posting, who's commenting and who is resharing it. And I would look at the titles of the people doing that. That to me is the biggest signal. So I do that today, even when I'm trying to think about whether there's a creator I want to follow on LinkedIn. I like to see who else is following this person, who has reshared their post recently, and especially who's commenting on it. That to me is, once you see people in a community commenting on someone else in that community's post, it's like, oh, this is a internal topic that people care about. So for instance, I spend a lot of time on journalism LinkedIn. So whenever there is some media outrage that goes on, I like to see, are there a bunch of journalists who are talking about this to each other? Or I love like marketing LinkedIn. I love and so I go to like when people are critiquing marketing campaigns or what's going on at different marketing in different areas. I love to see who's doing it. And then AI conversations. Like, are these random people talking about AI or are these AI practitioners talking about AI? In every one of those cases, and you can apply this to every niche, I want to see, are there people in the niche talking about this to the person who's the creator? And that to me is a done deal. This person's credible.
I love the sub communities on LinkedIn. Yes, whether I'm looking for like how are people using this new Claude update, or the day after Super Bowl, I know the marketing community is gonna have a field day.
Exactly.
Last couple of questions. In my content, I really have focused on this aspect of what you have to unlearn to grow to that next phase of life. I've gone from social media marketer to social media manager to content director to now creator. And in all these different seats, I've had to either learn new skills or unlearn old skills. Finish the sentence. The creators who win on LinkedIn in the next 3 years will have blank in common.
They will have niche credibility in common. The creators who win are ones who are going to use the lessons of LinkedIn, who's successful on LinkedIn, but they're not going to copy those formats, or they're not going to copy that content. They're going to take the lessons and apply it to the areas that they're passionate about. So what I'm looking for is an explosion of creators. I want to see people talking about areas I never knew people talked about on LinkedIn.
I love that.
And finding those audiences light up. So I'll give you an example. I talked to someone recently who's in she works in like, I don't know what you call this area, but like perfumes and scents.
Okay.
And she was like, oh yeah, this is like where my industry talks to each other, is on LinkedIn. I've never seen that corner of LinkedIn. I've never been to that corner of LinkedIn. I had no idea that existed, but in every job, every industry, every walk of life, there's some group that cares about that particular area. And what I'm looking for is a creator for every single one of those areas.
There's probably fragrance LinkedIn, there's author LinkedIn.
Totally.
Yeah. Okay, last one. What is your biggest unlearning from this year?
I became passionate about AI and the ability to build using AI over the last year. And I'm an AI super fan. Started another newsletter called Forward Deployed Editor that's just about learning how to use AI. I've launched 2 apps in the App Store. And I was just like at parties, I'd be like, oh my God, this is what I'm building. And I think one of the things I've had to unlearn is that this is not something that other people are getting excited about, that the concerns that around the impact of AI on jobs in the economy, on data centers, this is the AI industry has done, I think, a pretty poor job of bringing people along and of making sure the guardrails are there. And I think something that I've had to learn anew is like looking at this, like, yeah, it's exciting. You can do a lot of cool stuff that you haven't been able to do before, but it's a tool, and it's not a tool that everyone is embracing. And so that's been kind of a lesson for me.
I appreciate that really honest answer, because yes, it's moving way too fast.
Yeah.
And they've not brought us along for the
No.
Okay, Dan, thank you so much.
Thank you. This is great.